Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the day is here. The new order, last days of Europe, is finally here. And I can't tell you how excited I've been for this day to finally come. I've been following the subreddit for at least a year. Maybe less, but it feels like it was. And I had to join for this mod. I feel that, man. I've been following this mod for at least a year. Smith. What's up, Smith? How you doing, man? Good to see you again. What? At least a year? I played the first demo when it came out for the channel. Not when it first came out, but shortly after. And I have just been so hyped ever since. I played 2 of the countries for series. Sorry for my bad English. I haven't noticed it, man. You're good so far. So, like usual, for all my people watching on YouTube at home, I'm streaming this live. If you ever want to hop in and watch it live while I'm recording and join and talk, please go ahead and do so when I'm streaming. It's been very infrequent as of late, and I do apologize. Just, my summer classes have kind of been kicking my ass a little bit, but the main one that I've been worrying about is done, and now it's time to get back into this. So, alright, let's go ahead. The New Order. A new order has descended upon the world. With the triumph of the Axis powers in the Second World War, the world has been forever changed. Yesterday's great empires are now dust under the boots of today's victors. A German lands on the moon as Hitler's fades. In America, the old system lies shattered. The Mediterranean powers' balance lies on a knife's edge. China, in little more than a slave of Japan, but then begins to transform itself. And in Russia, long-damned warlords realize their destiny. Love your Africa series, so I can't wait for the European one. I can't wait either, dude. So here we are. The screen select. Okay, this is cool. So, we have the majors. We have the USA, the USA, with a good old tricky dick, the last bastion of liberty. We have Hitler in Nazi Germany. We have Ino Hiroya of Japan. Do you know if Romania got a tree? Burgundy speedrun gang, hell yeah. I don't think Romania got a tree in this version. I could be mistaken. In fact, I'll pull up the announcement list real quick to check. That's on my server, not the New Order. I'll check real quick whether or not they released it or not. Where they have it? I don't think they do. Romania. It doesn't look like it. Romania didn't get a tree yet. But we got Italy. And then we have the beta countries. We have Himmler. Oh god, this looks terrifying. I'm gonna have to play Himmler at some point, and I'm looking forward to that in a fucked up sort of way. But for now, no. For now, no. We also have all the Reichkommisariats, Schenck, Huttig, Mueller, who we already had some fun with. Especially Mueller. Father Time, I don't know the father path, so I might have to hold off on that. Let's start off, we'll just select this guy, we'll select the Revolutionary Front for now, and just take a look at this world. Whew. The year is 1962. Germany is won. We have the Burgundians occupying Paris and Belgium, doing God knows what. We have the Germans on the brink. The Americans, who just not doing too hot generally. And then Russia, whatever the fuck's going on here. India, which doesn't have content yet. I was wondering what I was going to play first for a stream. I was thinking I was going to go with England, because that has a really interesting tree, you know, the Civil War, but they announced last minute that they're only getting partial content for this update because of some issues, but the full content will be coming next week, so there's no issue with that. So, I have two options that I want to pick from here. The first, and I'll let you guys decide, everyone in chat right now. The first is the Reichkommisariat Ostland. And I'll say it right now, we're not going to do Kovner. We're not going to kill 6 million Germans this time. Probably going to do Meyerlander. Oop, someone just followed. Let's see. Double Edge! Thanks for a follow, man. Welcome to the stream. So we're either going to do Ostland, or we're going to do Komi. Is that an American Union flag from Kaiserreich? That is an American Union flag from Kaiserreich. You want to look at that. I'll adjust for webcam real quick. There we go. So I have two paths that I'm really thinking about going. Either Ostland or Komi. I know they recommend Vyatka for your first time. Either Vyatka or Heydrich's Germany. But what Ostland has kind of an interesting little thing going on, and Komi sounds like a bit of a clusterfuck. So honestly, I'm thinking Ostland. But I want to hear from you guys. What are you thinking? Let me check the chat real quick, see who's in. We got, see Master Hizzle. What's up, man? Jeff Akorga. I'm going to apologize in case I'm butchering enemies. Jeff Akorga, or Heffakorga. Lispenbem, Prankster, Scappy5, Smith, and the Fabricator. Ostland has your vote? Okay. So far, 1 vote for Ostland. 2 votes for Ostland. We might be going Ostland. Now they only have limited content, not the full 10 years right now, but I think for a first game, this is going to be an interesting one. So I'm down to do it. And then, let's see if, I want to see if I can, edit my stream name real quick. Gotta figure out in Streamlabs. You know, I don't think it matters too much. Info, da-da-da. It doesn't matter. I'm guessing that's most of the, I don't want to hold off too late on this, just because I'm really excited. So I think I can't put my headset on right. My headset kind of broke. If you guys want to look at that, I have Scotch tape holding it on to the best I can. But right now, I think Ostland has it. So we're gonna go ahead and start this sucker. No Iron Man mode, because why not? Intended difficulty. What the New Order was built and tested on. I think we go for it. The Reichkommisariat Ostland. This is a good one for the new Kaiserreich update. Comes then this. I know. 2020 is starting to look up. I'm telling you. This is a good fucking week. At least Hoi 4 modding wise. Let's go ahead and launch in. Now, I kind of remember what Kaiser's dev update kind of went over, because I watched the dev update he did on this before I went ahead and decided I wanted to play this. And from what I understand, the factions are more or less the same. I don't know if the event chain is more or less the same. But, the idea, if for those of you who don't know, and, I guess we were kind of brief spoilers, so if you don't want to see what happens, skip ahead a little bit. I gotta get my timer going, right. As soon as Germany goes through civil war, Ostland follows right behind her. Or him, you know, fatherland and all that. And so there's a 6-way civil war. We're not fucking around, not 4-way, 6-way. Apparently there's supposed to be a 12-way civil war added at some point, but that's just... And there are a couple factions. Let's see if I can take a look real quick. It's all Nat Soch right now, so I can't really look at that. But you have this guy, Meyer Landrut, who's a liberal democratic minister in a National Socialist government. So there's a 6-way civil war. You have this guy, Meyer Landrut, who's one of the factions. He's kind of hey, you know, this Nazi thing is kind of fucked up. We should probably do something to end that. And so he's kind of the, guy who basically wants to establish democracy, stop the killing of, the natives, and eventually, I don't know if he can do it in this version, but slowly just, break up the Commissariat and establish, like, Estonia, Lithuania, Belarus, Latvia. And then you have, 3 different flavors of Nazis. Then you have, what's his name here? Central European Council. That Leningrad name, though, yeah. Braunschweig. Close enough. Who's kind of weird, and I don't think people even understand his motives. And then you have Kovner, who wants to pull a reverse card and start killing 6 million Germans. But anyhow, we're going to be playing as a Landrut, because I don't have a stomach to play as a Nazi, and I don't think I have a stomach to play as Landrut, Kovner either. The German Reich is the leader of Europe, something it enforces through the use of the Reichkommisariats. These colonial states reach from Prague to Polsberg, and each are run by their own Reichskommissar. Each of these states are nominally loyal subjects of a Reich. In practice, however, their loyalty and competence varies, to put it lightly. In a rare departure from a train of general decay and chaos, Reichskomisariat Ostland, by and far, is the best-run Reichskommissariat the Reich has, led by Reichskommissar Heinrich Lohse. Ostland has become the most prosperous Reichskommissariat the Reich has, along with taking second place in terms of Germanization and general stability, only behind the general government in Poland. This can be chalked down to Lohse's leadership, the competence of those who surround him, and the general compliance of the populace, with some exceptions. However, as the Reich begins to crack, so does Ostland. Heinrich Lohse's health is failing, and his underlings have begun to squabble as ferociously as with politicians back home. Indeed, each of his underlings have taken up roles as surrogates of possible successors in the Reich. Franz Walter Stahlecker as a conservative Bormannite, Otto Heinrich Drechsler as a militarist Göringite, Andreas Mader Landrut as a reformer Speerite, and Friedrich Jeckeln as the head of the SS and a proud supporter of the Burgundian system. To add to this brainstorm, famed terrorist partisan Abba Kovner still lurks as a threat to the Reichskommissariat, and rumor has it that the shadowy collaborator Mikhail Vistuka has plans of his own. Luckily for the Reichskommissariat, it seems that the man to fill Lohse's boots, Karl Sigmund Litzmann, has already been chosen by the Reich, no matter how much internal squabbling there may be. With the succession issue solved, all that remains is to clean out the last vestiges of resistance and disorder, and Ostland will continue on its track as a model colony, a peaceful, stable, Germanized paradise. Here's hoping the Reich's issues are smothered out in a similar manner, or issues may get very, very out of hand. Features: fight for influence over Ostland as the Reich slowly collapses, deal with unrest in your nation, both from Reformists and SS alike. Continue to guide Ostland into the future, keeping your status as a model colony. I just saw that. Damn, what a name. Yeah. So region info. God, this is like EU4. Holy crap. Europe. It was not under the glorious banner of heroic men that Europe descended towards oblivion, nor was it the forward progress of the war that left all of Western civilization scarred and deformed in the wake of the 1940s. Rather, it was with fear and terror inspired by the German Reich and its scornful conquests across the fields of France, Russia, and beyond. Elsewhere one may look, the German Reich has brought about its influence, whether through its overlordship of a dozen European puppets, leading a cleansing effort across the native populaces, or the gutted nature of the Mediterranean, following the failures of the Atlantic project. All has been touched by the iron heart of Führer Adolf Hitler, self-described as the master of Europe. However, such a master does not bear the likeness of his subjects, nor the respect of its neighbors. Instead of itself, Germany finds itself tied in a massive anti-German alliance known as the Triumvirate, intent on rebuilding that ruined German economy through the political gauntlet of Italy's upper chambers and the rapidly changing political climate of the insatiable empire, the insufferable bureaucracy of Franco and Salazar's dual dictatorship, which breeds discontent among the populace of the Iberian Union, and the distant, angered, wrong cries of the Turkish over foreign conquest denied from it so long. However, such is not the only notable threats to the Führer's borders as well, as whispers of a storm of discontent hover the previously stormed lands of the United Kingdom have left the collaborationist government in fear of an incoming battle for their homeland, while the East finds the many cultures of Slavs, Poles, and other large minorities waging a war of the underground against the many Reichkommissars and other collaborationist regimes operating in the Balkan, claiming dictatorial imperial dominion over their homeland. The German eagle has soared high over Europe and greatly has his flight left its wings burned. However, the fight is not over left. While the Reich brews in its own hotbed of syncopacy, betrayal, and competition for succession in lieu of Führer's impending demise, a shadow state lies due east, biding its time, watching each and every move of the many states across Europe, plotting its own machinations. In the wake of disenchantment from the Reich's failures, and the Ordnungsstaat only has so much time left to accomplish its mark upon this corrupted world. So mod features, decision GUIs are built right into the decisions tab. Gameplay experience, Tom's Duma GUI, South African referendum GUI, and many others. And we'll just have to wait and check. Military doctrine. Overhauled war. Politics tab. I'm just scanning this over real quick. You can pause the stream, or if you're watching at home on YouTube, you can pause it and then. Independent Wales love to see. Yep. Ultimately plays during Cold War. Full nuclear triad capabilities, and as of 1962, locking the world under the fear of a nuclear holocaust. Whew. Any war between the three powers will inevitably lead to World War III. It cannot end well. The sides will fight until one begins to falter. If a nation feels that it's about to collapse, is unable to continue war, or has their core territory overwhelmingly threatened, then nuclear war is an inevitability. If this happens, it is a game over. Nuclear war is rare, extremely slow, if not playing as a nuclear power, and most nations would ever work through the issues instead of fight over them. And that's for DEFCAM issue. We have proxy wars, diplomatic crises. It's a narrative game above all. Mod info. Can we... I think we can click these and go to the Reddit, the Twitter, TV tropes, all that. Let's take a second to just scroll through the credits. I'll take this time just to thank the dev team for their hard work and for putting up with all the memes and shit that the community has done. I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of other people right now who appreciate you guys, so thank you. So with all that said, let's actually start doing stuff. We got quite a bit of guns going. I think we'll go infantry weapon improvements 4. And then engineering, probably maybe industry actually. Let's do... Well, let's compare the two. That looks fine. I'll go with that. Why not? Alright, so let's take a look at our situation. So, we start with Heinrich Losser. He's a dictator, so we get some extra PP, which is nice. I love all the PP I can get. If one was to take a look at the Reichskommissariats of Germany, they would not find an impressive sight. Most of the Reichskommissariats are falling apart at the seams, disloyal to the Reich, or simply unprofitable hellholes. However, one among these squabbling puppets stands out as a true jewel of Germany. Reichkomisariat Ostland. It's a mostly calm, profitable, and somewhat Germanized state. And it was all because of one man, Heinrich Losser, a veteran of the Great War, an early devotee of a party and High President of Schleswig-Holstein. It was no surprise when Losser was appointed to the job as Reichskommissar. From there, he managed Ostland loosely, delegating much of the necessary work to his most loyal and competent subordinates. This strategy has borne much fruit, as Ostland is one of the most Germanized, most profitable, and most stable Reichskommissariats. As long as these men had Losser to control them and act as a figurehead, this system worked. However, bad health gets the best of everyone, and over the last 3 years, Losser has slipped away from the spotlight more and more. With him goes his uniting presence, and those under him have understood this. With Losser already loose hand, growing more and more limp, those subordinates who once served loyally now begin to eye Losser a seat with growing hunger. As Drescher, Stahlecker, and Meyer Landrut bicker with one another, Kovner's attacks grow more and more bold, and Vasuka and Yekelin watch and plot behind closed doors. One can see the clear cracks in the system. The people of Ostland can only hope that either Losser recovers or a competent candidate is selected as a replacement, lest chaos and blood flow through the streets of Riga. So we start off with a model colony, which gives us a nice stability boost and some construction speed bonuses. We are the model colony of Germany. Nowhere else has Germanization gone so well. Nowhere else are the people united in such great purpose and drive. The National Socialists at the world marvel at our great works and projects, and the unity of our nation, and even the partisans that plague the rest of Europe have seemingly begun to fade away. Surely, such great fortune shall only fade with that of a 1,000-year Reich. We shall live forever. I'm sure we will. And then we have the unusual quiet, which gives us some division organization bonuses and some war support. Ever since the assassination of Wilhelm Keitel and the subsequent crisis in the 50s, we've had little to no problems with the native partisans of the area. Whether this is because of Heinrich Losser's successful rule or due to a plot by the assorted partisan groups remains to be seen. All we know is that for now, we, the Reichskommissariats, have a rare period of peace and prosperity. So we're an integrated Reichskommissariat, and we are part of the Unity Pact, which is Germany's faction. We have Losser as our head of government. We have Hans Kramer. We're going to have another issue with a racist Kramer, apparently. And then we have this man, Meyer Landrut, as our economy minister. And we don't have many picks. I don't think we can appoint who. So we have our military laws. Kind of like Vicky 2, if any of you played that. I've played it a bit. From what I understand, these change by event, so we don't get to just change it, so we can ban slavery by political option. So yeah, let's take a look. I wonder if this is going to be one of those focuses where, you can't finish the whole thing. Because I know there are a few trees that are apparently like that. But I'm not sure. My finishing touches. The last 5 years have been busy for the Ostland administration, headed by Hinrich Lohse. Ostland has seen some dramatic changes to the countryside. Cities are now larger thanks to the lure of new, better-paying jobs and factories. In Estonia, impressive harbors to facilitate trade near completion, while the rest of the region overwent modernization in all sectors. While the economy has grown to impressive heights, Germanization has proceeded decently, or at least until the economic crash of the 50s. Time to crack open to Jones. Likewise, Ostland has been plagued by native partisans for the better part of 2 decades now. Economic prosperity not enough to get rid of the rebels to come out of the forest. To top it off, we need to keep an eye out on factionalism in our administration. The coming days must be navigated carefully. Ostland is still finally reaching her potential, but the country is still rife with low levels of discontent. We must navigate the partisans and politics of our nation with equal caution. Alright. So, finishing touches. I think we can check the... Okay, so Ostland mirrors Reich in many aspects, and one of those is, of course, the incessant infighting. With the Reich slide into instability, 2 major players have emerged in Ostland: Otto Heinrich Dressler, a devout Schonerite militarist, and Franz Walter Stahlecker, the main conservative ideologue. The contenders must look to collaboration governments for any assistance in their struggle for dominance, otherwise it could lead to the governments defecting to the other side, spelling disaster. So we have the Estnische Selbstverwaltung, who's loyal to Stahlecker. I nailed that, I'm guessing. The Lettischer Beirat, leaning somewhat towards conservatism. The Litauische Sonderverwaltung are leaning towards militarism. And the Weißrussischer Zentralstaat, not picking favorites. So I'm guessing Estonian, Latvian, Lithuanian, White Ruthenian / Belarusian. So we got that done. We got some free factories too. So I'm trying to figure out which one to build in for Meyer Landrut. I think it's this one. So I'll get a military factory in Vilna going. And then we'll just see what happens from there. We've got some free military factories. I guess we'll build guns for now, because I don't know what to do. This is all fresh, so I don't know what's up. And I think finally, it's time to actually unpause the game. Alright, frames are game's starting to go. Let's take a look. Hawaiian missile crisis going on right now. World tension is already really high. So, let me ask you guys real quick, is there any countries you want to check out real quick? Just see what's going on. We'll start with Wales, because Scappy was talking about how it's cool that Wales is independent. So let's check out their focus tree. Interesting. Remember, Norway has a focus tree, which I think is pretty interesting. And then Iberia, I think they have full content for the next 10 years. Italy has full content. Who else? Oh, the Reich's last conquest. USA and Germany. I got you, man. So, Eberhard Kollner has landed on the moon. Not the first man ever to. So let's check out Germany real quick. We got Hitler, a man on the moon. First focus. Looks like we can pick Akasha. The enemy, my enemy. Improving our relations. Or Bormann wants to. They both want to improve. relations. It just depends. So that's interesting. And I think we all know, you know, Germany is going to go into civil war sometime soon. I think it's 64, 63, 64. And then we got the USA, the Nixon presidency. I know a couple, like, some of these options have already been selected, if I'm correct. So you can't choose to keep it clean as Nixon. Like, let America know how much of a pocket liberal you are and bend over backwards for whims of a fascist-funded mob of Jews and communists who will spit on your grave no matter how much limp-wristed pussy shit you do to keep the fuckers pleased. Oh. So, we can't keep it clean. Apparently. So, yeah. So we gotta get working on this. So do all as well. So the USA is stuck down this path. But I gotta say, that's the funniest shit I've read in a while. And then... Choose to reinforce from the OFN. Reinforce the OFN or do whatever. Containment theory. Huh. I'll have to do a USA games soon. One of these days. But, should I pause? I probably should have kept the time going. So we checked out the USA and Germany. Leader of a free world. The master of Europe. I like how all these little... Oop! An assassin strikes at Hitler. News from Germany is sporadic at best. Information smuggled out of Germania reports that shortly after celebrations over moon landing settled, military units and several platoons worth of bodyguard units filled the streets and immediately put the city under martial law. Apparently an assassin, which the Germans claimed to belong to the Japanese Kempeitai, attempted to kill the Führer, but was stopped in his attempt by one of Hitler's personal bodyguards. Already reports of various other assassinations have surfaced in the streets of various military units nearly came to blows, as several units ordered each other to stand down and the chain of command fell apart. So the Reich seems much weaker. Can Germania maintain their new world order when they can hardly manage themselves? I almost selected an option there. Shit. I did not want to do that accidentally. Okay. We'll start with Security Minister. In recent years, the position of Minister of the Security in Ostland has been left unoccupied. However, with the tensions increasing among the Reich, many would consider it prudent to formalize the head of the armed forces in Ostland. Two candidates have put themselves forward. The first candidate is Otto Heinrich Gessler, who enjoys the wide support of the garrison. He proposes to increase conscription in order to get our garrison back to respectable size. However, another candidate has presented himself. Frederick Jeckeln has deep ties to both Burgundian and German SS and is proposed to focus on quality over quantity. Although he's not as popular as Dressler, the garrison could still be satisfied with his appointment. Of course, we do not need to appoint anyone to position. Perhaps the power that comes with position would be best kept out of the hands of these men. We're not going with Jeckeln. Undetermined Army Command. That would hurt us. But is that necessarily a bad thing if we kind of want to, work against the kind of Nazi status quo? I don't know, what are you guys thinking? Like, if I have to pick one, Dressler looks like a pretty solid pick. Recruitable population bonus, infantry division attack, infantry division defense. I mean, I'm guessing it's all going to fall apart eventually. I'll let you guys decide real quick. I'll read the other event while we're here. Franz Walter Schalecker, an influential and close friend of a Reichskommissar, has recently announced a new initiative designed to promote unity and stability within Ostland. While many still question the purpose of such an act, especially with the current situation in Ostland, Schalecker has declared that all citizens of Ostland must act as one, fair to prosper in the coming years. Schalecker has enjoyed a large support base within the government, and this recent campaign has only increased his popularity. Dr. D? Okay. We'll go with Dressler then. He will serve us well, hopefully. Get a little recruit population. I want to check out Japan real quick. Because their whole event chain was pretty interesting. So I want to see the focus tree that goes with it. Got the fiscal report. Oh, Hitler's named Bormann his successor. Interesting. Interesting. Ensure continued prosperity. Finishing touches. So we're going to get a boost to our GDP. There we are. And then we got to keep the peace. Little known to the vast majority of the people in Ostland, we have an impressive database of known partisans, leaders, and most importantly, their families. Uh-oh. There are many partisans who live off the grid and are, for all intents and purposes, out of our hands. However, their families are not. We have an understanding with the major resistance groups. Their leaders know that we hold their families' lives in our hands. Therefore, they understand that touching our industrial complexes or major government facilities means brutal retaliation. As long as the government doesn't collapse, the informal agreement will continue for the foreseeable future. Oh, that's uncomfortable to think about. Schalecker. Alright, let's check out some other stuff. I know, strangely enough, this part of Algeria has some focus stuff. So that's pretty interesting. Uh-oh. Oh, that doesn't give us a negative effect yet. But the Reichskommissar fades. Gauleiter? I don't know. Gauleiter Heinrich Lohse has served faithfully ever since the establishment of Reichkomisariat Ostland. His regime has shown massive progress for German interests, and while the Reichskommissariat has never been the strongest leader, choosing to serve more as a figurehead than an actual leader and leaving actual runnings of a colony to his underlings, this has brought about much economic and social movement that most of the Reichskommissars of the Reich could never truly boast. His loose manner of rule has already allowed for schisms to form in the colony, with the main power struggle between the fanatical militarists under Otto Heinrich Dressler, the pragmatic conservatives under Franz Walter Schalecker. However, in recent years, the Reichskommissar has quietly faded from public life. This has meant that his capacity as a figurehead for the colony's government has also begun to fade, the office of Reichskommissar seemingly having taken its toll on Heinrich, and the matter of who will succeed him as Reichskommissar is still undecided. The key to the end of his struggle, thus, does not lie in favor of the Reichskommissar, but in the collaboration governments of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Belarus. But with these governments constantly competing for funds from the central government in Riga, it remains to be seen if it's possible to unite all of them under one singular person. A storm is brewing. Okay, Italy has a tree. I want to check that out real quick. So where did you get that AUS flag from? KaiserCatCinema.com. It's a it is a it's a website that it's run by some of the main artists behind Kaiser Reich, and they just kind of use it. They use it to help fund more content, like on their YouTube channel. They have like songs, animated stuff, and stuff. So buying their merch helps fund their content. So that's pretty nifty. So, you know, I think part of it might even go to mod developers, or I might be mistaken about that. Anyway, the February incident. The unthinkable has happened. On February 14th, an attack on our nation like nothing ever seen before occurred, shocking not just Ostland, but the rest of the Reich. Numerous, seemingly coordinated attacks on our arms factories took place, destroying our already struggling arms market. The strangest part is that we have no idea who committed such an attack. The only way to find out is to launch an investigation into the culprit immediately. We have to find the culprit. What about the general government? Do they have a... They don't have a focus tree at all, okay. Government of National Salvation. So we gotta work on keeping the peace. Indonesia has a tree too, I think. Or something like that. Yeah. I wonder what's... I'm really curious about the other countries right now. You know, you got, Oh. Something just out. I think it was just autosave. So you got the Mongolian People's Front. Finding out there. Urtuzgan... Buryatia started war. I know that much. You have Sablin here in Buryatia and... What's his name? Yagoda here in Utursk. Alright, with the investigation getting started, our neighbors, the Belarusians, the SS have both offered to help find the culprit by searching the border regions in their own nations. However, the bitter hatred left over from the war still remains, and we refuse to work with each other. We must choose between the two. And I'm thinking the Belarusians. I don't want to help the SS get any credit. Of Vortuka. I know they said the father from the north is actually going to be in this version, but I'm curious just who the hell he is. I think we all kind of are. Oh, well, I'm going to have to cut this recording session for now. So I'll just save this now for everyone watching at home on YouTube. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of my content in the future, hit that subscribe button. I have uploads going up every weekday, every Saturday, hopefully every Saturday, if I can get back on track with that. And yeah, comments, if you have any, leave in the comment section below. If you want to send a few bucks my way, I have a Patreon. If you want to join with my Discord and chat with me there, go ahead. And again, my Twitch channel will be linked description below. So yeah, that's about it, folks. Thanks for watching. My name has been DB333, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.